Welcome. We are most grateful that you've chosen to attend this performance of Songs, Observations, and Confessions. The following program of music, lyrics, and blatherings addresses a dynamic and quite possibly overly ambitious range of topics. Each, in its own way, strives to shed light from a different angle on the adventure of human life in the modern world. Please direct your attention to the board at the front of the classroom for a list of today's subjects in the precise order of their presentation. Act 1, Connection, Reality, Falling in Love, Unconditional Love, Authenticity, Empathy, and Compassion. Time, Jesus, Original Sin, Commonality, and Friendship. Nothing heavy, just a few casual, lightweight topics of interest. But that's just the first act. In Act 2, we'll explore hypocrisy, morality, fear, certainty, war and peace, regret, priorities, and thanksgiving. And at the end of all that, you will still have the option of tackling a pair of extra credit subjects, aging and following your heart. But maybe I should stop talking about the show and let the show itself do the talking. What do you say?
Is anybody listening? Is anybody really listening? Is everybody thinking about what they're gonna say next? Hearing every other word out of context? Yeah, I've been wondering, is anybody ever really listening? It takes a bit of practice, a little bit of daily practice. There's a reason why they call it giving your attention. It's a generous gift, did I mention? I've been wondering, is anybody ever really listening? Everybody needs somebody to lend an ear, a friend to hear whatever's on your mind. Is that so hard to find? Is anybody listening? Is anybody really listening? Everybody asks how you're doing, but for damn sure, nobody half expects to hear an honest answer. Yeah, I've been wondering, is anybody ever really, is there anybody listening? Is anybody listening? Life is rough, life is hard, knocks you down, breaks your heart. Makes no difference who you are. Life is rough, life is hard. Life is sweet, life is good, at least for now. so knock on wood. In Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, life is sweet, life is good. One day you're the windshield, next day you're the bug. First you're standing in the plush, then they're pulling out the rug. When you think you've seen it all, when you swear you've had enough, fate will sock it to you, baby. Life is rough. Life is funny, life is sad. Gotta laugh or you go mad. All in all, it ain't so bad. Life is funny, life is sad. One day you're the windshield, next day you're the bug. First you're standing in the plush, then they're pulling out the rug. When you think you've seen it all, when you swear you've had enough, fate will sock it to you, baby. Life is rough. Life is rough, life is hard. It knocks you down and breaks your heart. Hello, humans. So good to see you here today. Thank you so much for coming. I am Rand Bishop, and this is Songs, Observations, and Confessions. And as you can see, we have quite a ambitious curriculum to go through this afternoon. And fortunately, we've already passed through the first two subjects. Connection. The first song, Listening, is about that fundamental need that we all have to mean something to somebody, to be heard. And the song that I just completed, Life is Rough, it's about reality, because I think most of you will agree that sometimes life is pretty difficult. And, it's really difficult for a lot of people who are dealing with natural disasters or disease or injuries or political repression, or, all of those very, very serious things. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, that guy up there, he's got everything, he has no problems at all. But, I beg to differ with you, because just to give you a couple examples. A couple of weeks ago, I dumped an entire bowl of cereal into my lap in the middle of a Zoom meeting. Talk about rough. And then the next day, in the middle of the fourth quarter of the Ducks game, the cable went out. I was on hold for 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, trying to get a reservation at a restaurant. And then when I got home that night, I looked in the mirror and there was a pasta sauce stain on my favorite shirt. So don't tell me life is not difficult for everybody. So we're on to the next subject, which is falling in love. And as most of you are very, very aware, there have been millions of songs written on the subject of falling in love. So I thought I should give you just a little background on this particular song and what inspired it. 12 years ago, I came out to my wife as bisexual, and she left me. She ended the marriage. Now, in her defense, she had just found out that the man that she thought she'd married 22 years ago was not the man she was married to 22 years later. And that was bad enough, but I think it was the lying, philandering part of the confession that might have put things over the edge. And they tell you when you come out, you're going to feel liberated and, be able to live your own truth. And, I did feel that for about 12 hours. And then I realized, how badly I had hurt somebody who I love, and with my dishonesty. And so that was difficult, and then all of our friends sided with my wife, and our entire social circle disappeared. I had no, a lot of my friends I was just out of their world, and my 2 daughters wouldn't speak to me for a period of time because I had been dishonest. And so I kind of went on a downward spiral. I have suffered from clinical depression all of my adult life, and I literally wanted to die at that point in time. But I rallied, I pulled myself up, and I started making new friends. I made gay friends, and I started seeing men and pursuing that part of my life, and that was great. And then I fell in love with a woman. It's kind of a pattern I've established in my life. And so it takes an extraordinary woman to think that they can get into a relationship with a bisexual, thrice divorced man. And in this particular case, Alice decided that that was not the kind of extraordinary she wanted to be. She was extraordinary, but not in that particular way. And so she ended the romantic part of our relationship, but not before I wrote this song for her. Well, she's wise and she's witty, and sometimes she's ditzy. A page turn in mystery I just can't put down. Gee, I just goodbye kissed her, and I already miss her. And I get sad when she's not around, giving me hope that real love exists. Yeah, I may be slow, never felt quite like this. 'Cause I know that I am the luckiest guy on this earth when I'm holding my Birmingham girl. Well, her skin is oleander, and her voice, Holly Hunter. She's sweet southern comfort, then gone with the wind. It's not just that she's pretty, I love how that girl gets me. Again and again and again, giving me hope that real love exists. Yeah, I may be slow, it never felt quite like this. 'Cause I know that I am the luckiest guy on this earth when I'm holding my Birmingham girl. Have I always been fond of petite, blue-eyed blondes? Oh my, yes. But now she's gone red. And if I have my way, when mine's all gone gray, she'll still be messing around with my head. 'Cause I know that I am the luckiest guy on this earth. Oh, yes, I am. When I'm holding my wise, witty, page turned in mystery, my beautiful Birmingham girl. Now, at this point, I had made a pledge to myself because my dishonesty had been so harmful in the past that I would always be honest particularly about my sexual orientation and my relationships, etc. So I had to let Alice know that I already had a girlfriend. Millie was a bit of a problem child. She peed on the carpet. She was quite protective and territorial. And it didn't matter whether I was gone for 10 hours or just 2 minutes to empty the trash. She would howl bloody murder every time I came in the door. And my neighbors thought I was stabbing my dog. But in reality, she was just happy to see me. Mama was a beagle, Daddy was a coonhound. Mama was a beagle, Daddy was a coonhound. When I get home from work, you ought to hear my Millie howl, just like this. A-hoo-hoo-roo. A-hoo-hoo-roo. She sniffs out furry creatures underneath a bush or a log. She sniffs out furry creatures underneath a bush or a log. No rat goes undetected by the nose of my hound dog. She considers kitty poo-poo a culinary treat. She howls bloody murder when she's got a squirrel treat. She thinks she's so sneaky when she pees on the carpet. She's a pain in the butt. Don't get me started. The cat don't run away. The dog gets so confused. The cat don't run away. Dog gets so confused. Just sits there looking at me wondering, what am I supposed to do? She considers kitty poo-poo a culinary treat. She howls bloody murder when she's got a squirrel treat. She thinks she's so sneaky when she pees on the carpet. She's a pain in the... But don't get me started. Mama was a beagle. Daddy was a coonhound. Mama was a beagle. Daddy was a coonhound. When I get home from work, you ought to hear my Millie howl, just like this. Ah-hoo-hoo-roo. Ah-hoo-hoo-roo. Ah-hoo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ah-hoo. Thank you. I may talk about some things that make some of you feel a little uncomfortable, and that will make me feel uncomfortable, and so then we're really doing theater. And as I mentioned before, I think I did, I revealed my sexual orientation to you guys, and I'm getting more out and out all the time, and I'm really happy about that. It really is a liberating thing to be able to live your own truth. But as a bisexual man, we're kind of misunderstood and mistrusted. That's why I put the B in brackets there, and I'll explain that. Did you ever think about how many more letters we can add to this? I'm wondering when we get to the P's whether the Pans and the Pollys are going to be fighting over it, or we're going to have two P's, And anyway, and I understand that the straight world, mistrusts and doesn't really understand bisexual people. In the case of men, the guys think that you're trying to steal their wives, and the wives think you're trying to steal their husbands, and you just want to get naked with everybody. And and I thought when I came out that I would be welcomed into the gay community, and to a certain degree that was true, but there were a lot of gay men who I discovered didn't even think that bisexuality was a thing. As a matter of fact, they would say, well, you're just, if a guy said he's bi, they say, well, he just hasn't admitted that he's gay yet. And they have a term for that. They say, bi now, gay later. And as funny as that is, it's kind of painful. It really is kind of painful to know who you are and to have somebody else say, no, I'm sorry. What you say you are doesn't exist. And that's called bi erasure. And when you think about it, how many people in the queer and trans community, and people who are having issues with deciding who they are being erased across the country. When you think about a child in Florida who can't, maybe they're having some thoughts and some feelings that they don't understand, and they can't talk about it with their teachers at school, or their teachers themselves who can't bring a photograph of their same-sex partner to school, or introduce their spouse to their class as their family, or a kid in Alabama who's dealing with gender dysphoria, and their parents can't even get treatment with the doctor. It's illegal. All of these people are being erased and denied who they are. And wrote a song about it. Every life they claim matters equally. I'm wondering how those words apply to you and me. Could it be true that God's plan was make me, then hate who I am? Erased, disappeared, I don't exist, not round here. Whatever I say, they don't want to hear. I've been erased, disappeared. Be your truest self, dream your biggest dream. That's what we hope our children grow up to believe. But where do they turn when their path has been removed from the map? Erased, disappeared, be somewhere else. Just don't be here. Hide your real face. Stop wasting your tears. You've been erased, As if you and I could be reduced to some ugly, inconvenient truth. Erased, disappeared. Love isn't love, not round here. Time and again, the message is clear. I've been erased. You've been erased. We've been erased. Disappeared. We've been erased. I've been fortunate enough to meet and become friends with a wonderful author and spiritual leader named John Pavlovitz. And with his permission, I wrote this song based on his most recent book. And his most recent book is entitled, If God is Love, Don't Be a Jerk. When the hurt won't stop hurting, you can't hurry the healing. So you keep limping on, one small step at a time. Stepping into the questions, the unknowns and the tensions. Leaving all the assumptions, the blind spots behind. But you're not alone, walking wounded. You're not alone. To be willing to listen, to bear the discomfort, expand understanding, embrace mystery, faith confined to a box with some pocket-sized God. Never conceive just how big love can be. But you're not alone, walking wounded. You're not alone. Truth is elusive, my friend, but you're not alone, walking wounded. You're not alone. You're going to introduce you to some items here on my coat rack. This is one of my father's favorite things. He was a tennis fanatic. He loved to play the game, and he loved to watch it. I don't think he missed a single stroke on any major tennis tournament. He recorded them all, and he watched it. He loved Rafael Nadal. That was his favorite player. But he got an opportunity to go to the U.S. tennis tournament, U.S. Open tennis tournament in Flushing Meadows way back in the Jimmy Connors day, and he kept this hat, and I think he wore it every time he left the house. And you'd see him on Agate Beach or in Nye Village walking with Mom, and he'd be wearing this hat. You always know where Norm Bishop was because you'd see this hat. So I keep this to keep close to my dad. And this apron was one of the ones that my mother wore in the kitchen of St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, where she commandeered the Stone Soup Supper, which she created and actually founded 30 years ago. And every single Monday night, regardless of whether the Monday fell on a Christmas day or a New Year's Day or any other holiday, the churches of the area here have been feeding the disadvantaged. And these two items, I think, really exemplify my parents. My father, who never missed an opportunity for a leisure experience. He would take off in the middle of the day and go play tennis from the office anytime he could. And my mother, who lived to serve and lived to make the world a better place. I'm not a very good sport about aging at all. And I'm totally admit that. And I remember back on my 60th birthday, my friends were trying to comfort me, because I was kind of bummed out, I've reached this particular point in my life, and they're saying, 60 is the new 40. No, it's not. I agree with the comedian Louis Black, who says, 60 is 60 and 40 is 40. That's why they're different fucking numbers. And I remember that night thinking how quickly that last 15 years had gone. And I realized, oh my God, the next 15 is going to go even quicker. And here I am now, just a little less than 2 years away from, I don't know whether you've noticed this, nobody says 75 is the new anything. And so, and to rub salt in that, my firstborn child just turned 45, and my youngest just turned 30. And there's nothing, I'm sure a lot of you have had the experience of seeing your children's hair turn gray. And that's nothing makes you feel older than seeing that happen. So just a little anecdote on that particular theme. My parents loved Judi Dench. Anything that Judi Dench was in, whether it be a television show or a movie, they would go to see that or record it and watch it at home or whatever. And so the sequel to the famous Marigold Hotel movie was coming out, and so they were really excited about seeing it because they saw the ads on TV. So I took them up to the theater on opening weekend, and here we were waiting for tickets for the matinee, and my father leans over to me. I swear he was wearing that hat at the time. He leans over to me and he says, "Rand, I'm going to pay for the tickets." And I said, "3 seniors, Dad." It's wise to pick your battles. Why try to catch the wind? There's one in particular you know you'll never win. The champ is undefeated. His name is Father Time. And minute by minute, he's stealing you blind. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can say. You can ballyhoo about it, but one thing I know is true about it. Nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Just like Don Quixote, I'm on a hopeless quest. I can't get the hands of time to stop and take a rest. But still I don't surrender, it's too late for that now. And hour after hour, I'm losing more ground. And there's nowhere I can hide from it, no place I can run. Ain't no use in flying from it, everybody's dying from it. Nowhere I can hide from it. Ain't nowhere I can hide from it. Well, I'd spit in the face of the clock. I'd laugh if it wasn't so sad. They say time's on your side, but it's not. It's just one swift kick in the nads. Whew, that's smarts. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can say. You can ballyhoo about it, but one thing I know is true about it. Nothing you can do about it. Although we stew about it and we get so sad and blue about it, nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. You ever notice these billboards on the freeway when you're driving on the freeway and there's a huge billboard that says, Jesus is coming, are you ready? Or the wages of sin is death. Next time you see one, just notice whether and at the next exit on the freeway or the next one, there might be an adult XXX store. You know, the kind with the peep booths and the porn toys and the porn videos and the sex toys. And you kind of have to wonder how many horny truckers or traveling salesmen decide not to take that exit because they just saw that billboard. Our Savior came to earth on a mission of peace, preaching love and mercy and turn the other cheek. Only throw a stone if you in that sin. Judge not, guess we all forgot about him. So when you're coming back, what's taking you so long? What you waiting for? So much down here's gone wrong. When you're coming back, what's taking you so long? Well, he knocked the tables over in the temple of greed. Gold still God to the powers that be. Moses broke the tablets, now 10 good rules lay shattered on the deck of this ship of fools. So when you're coming back, what's taking you so long? Oh, what you waiting for? So much out here's gone wrong, yeah, when you're coming back. What's taking you so long? Well, maybe you came and no one even noticed. You didn't look the same, tried a little hocus pocus. Maybe you were black, yellow, brown, who could say? You could have been a woman, trans, bi, or gay. Ever think of that? They say the wages of sin is death. That's nice, 'cause everyone's a sinner and everybody dies. If Jesus is coming, I don't mean to be crude, but I just can't wait to have a beer with the dude. So when you're coming back, it's taking you so long. Oh, what you waiting for? So much out here has gone wrong. When you're coming back, what's taking you so long? Oh, when you're coming back, what's taking you so long? I do believe in God, or maybe a better way to put it is I believe in a God force, something, a higher power. I just don't believe that I have the ability, I have the capability as a human being to describe what that God force is. And I know what I don't believe about it. I don't believe that God has a gender. I don't believe that God has any other human qualities either. I don't believe that God's sitting up in heaven on a throne, judging everything that I think, say, or do. Isn't hard to believe that every child was meant to be a perfect spark of golden fire, blessed with gifts and bold desires. If we were all created in the image of our Maker, then how could we be born in sin, and why? What I can't believe is God will punish me if I follow my heart and I let love lead. You won't hear me chanting that old creed. I got no faith in faith like that, you see. That's what I can't believe. Every sunrise offers up a chance to shine, a chance to love, and all the passion that I feel helps me make my vision real, beginning now with gratitude, and knowing that dreams can come true. I trust that Spirit makes good use of me. But what I can't believe is God will punish me if I follow my heart and I let love lead. You won't hear me chanting that old creed. I got no faith in faith like that, you see. That's what I can't believe. Anything that says I'm less than free to be all I was truly meant to be, That's what I can't believe. It's what I can't believe. So 5 years ago, it's amazing that it's been that long, but 5 years ago in 2017, I did a really crazy thing. I walked from Southern California back home here to the Central Oregon coast. It was a distance of about 900 miles. It took me 90 days. And, you may be wondering why a 67-year-old man with chronic knee problems and sore feet and absolutely no long-distance hiking experience and minimal camping experience would put himself through such an ordeal. So I was brokenhearted, quite honestly. It was right after the 2016 election, and quite honestly, for even a couple of years before that, I'd been waking up in the middle of the night fretting because of the polarization and the division that was happening in our country, and particularly in the political realm. The two parties were more interested in making each other look bad than they were in solving a lot of extremely important and critical problems that we're dealing with, including climate change, and including gun violence, and including education, and the rapidly growing division between the wealthy and the poor, and the middle class just disappearing. And so I was already kind of bummed about that and worried about it. And then that wonderful campaign that happened in 2016, presidential campaign, it was really ugly. And then the outcome of the election, which I don't know how you felt about it, but I was a little disappointed. And at that point, it just felt like haters had been given permission to shout their bile and their bias from the rooftops. And I thought this country was getting mean. And that really broke my heart. And so I thought, I need to know, I need to prove to myself, I need to find out whether there's still nice people out there. And so I thought, well, I'll take a trip, but if I'm traveling by car or some other means, it doesn't give me an opportunity to actually talk to people and meet people, find out what they're concerned about, listen to them, find out why things are going the way they're going. And so I decided to walk. And I was on the 7th day of my walk, and it was in Santa Barbara, California, and I was in a bike shop. I was in there to buy a map of the bike paths in that county. And this young man came up to me. His name was Kent, and he and his lady, his girlfriend, Kent and Kimmy, they were adorable. Kent came up to me and he said, "Where are you riding to?" And I said, "Well, I'm not traveling by 2 wheels, I'm traveling by 2 feet." And then I kind of explained what I just explained to you as to why I was doing it. And I came to this point where I went, I really believe that if two people, regardless of their differences, regardless of that if they set those differences aside for a moment, that they can always find common ground. Well, Kimmy piped up at that moment. She said, "I know something that everybody has in common." And of course, I was very interested in that. And she said, "Everybody has a birthday." And I thought, oh, geez, that's mundane. Of course everybody has a birthday, duh. And then I thought about it. Such wisdom in that statement. Because the day that all of us are born, we're not aware of the color of our skin. We're not aware of the flag that flies over the country we were born in. We're not aware of our gender. We're not aware of the religion that our parents practice. The only thing that we're aware of is that we need our mother's warmth and comfort and protection and her breast milk. That's all, and every single human being has been through that experience. So if we remembered that, maybe we'd have a lot more peace on this planet. Before you know you're black, before you know you're green, before you know you're white or purple, brown or in between, before you know you're Catholic, a Muslim or a Jew, before you know what flag to wave, you know this much is true. It's the same for me and her and him and you. Everybody has a birthday. Everybody's born weak, independent, on mother's milk, helpless and innocent. Everybody has a birthday. Hey, hey, everybody has a birthday. Before you know you're straight, before you know you're gay, before you start identifying this or that away, before you know how much of you is masculine or femme, long before you pick a party, GOP or Dem, it's the same for us and they and them. Everybody has a birthday. Everybody's born weak, independent, on mother's milk, helpless and innocent. Everybody has a birthday. Hey, hey, everybody has a birthday.
We all bleed red, my dears. We all cry salty tears. Everyone's different, yes, but still the same, I guess.
Everybody's first coming out is as a human love child, loud and proud. Everybody has a birthday. Before you know you're black, before you know you're green, before you know you're white or purple, brown or in between, everybody has a birthday. Everybody's born weak, independent, on mother's milk, helpless and innocent. Everybody has a birthday. Hey, hey, everybody has a birthday. I think you'll be pleased to know that I did discover a lot of nice people out there. I probably met 1,000 people in the course of 90 days, some in passing, and some I spent quite a bit of time with. So there was not only, I'd say 9 out of 10 people were nice, a lot of them were kind, and a really surprising number of people were truly generous. And there was one way that I could return that generosity to those people, and that's through playing them some of my songs. And this particular song was one that I played on back porches and campsites and living rooms all up and down California and Oregon. Beat down, weary, beast of a day. Everything aches, I'm a balled up tangle of pain. Sunset fading over the hill. Turn on the porch light, I'm running on nothing but will. I'm gonna need some healing time, so keep on throwing me that line. I know it's gonna be alright. The long as you give me some healing time. Load gets heavy every once in a while, but I know you're waiting for me with a hug and a smile. All God's children, oh, got crosses to bear. You can hope all you want, but don't expect life's gonna be fair. That's why I need some healing time. So keep on throwing me that line. I know it's gonna be alright, long as you give me some healing time. Let me feel your touch, share the air you breathe. Life would be too much without you to care for me. Oh no. I'm gonna need some healing time to keep on throwing me that lifeline. I know it's gonna be alright, long as you give me some healing time. Long as you give me some healing time. Well, looky there. We just sped right through the curriculum for Act 1. So why don't we take a 15-minute intermission? What do you say?
Okay. Thou shalt be mean and greedy, intolerant, cruel, disdainful of those who are different from you. Thou shalt never be selfless, that's weak. Be thee strong. Refrain from forgiveness, don't admit that you're wrong. Thou shalt cherry-pick scripture to judge and condemn. Hate not the sinner, but hate thou the sin. Thou shalt never show mercy, be vengeful instead, and praise Christ, but ignore everything that he said. Can you not sit still for a minute? Swear I'm gonna spank your little ass when I get home. Thou shalt cheat, steal, and lie, claw your way to the top. Be you proud and self-righteous, do boast and name-drop. Thou shalt walk past the homeless with nary a look. Just promise to pray for them, you're off the hook. Thou shalt not love thy neighbor who votes Democrat. There's a prime place in hell for such traitors as that. Trust the Lord to protect. Thou shalt not vaccinate, but pack thee a pistol. Thou canst not be too safe. Thou shalt not trust the scientists, elitist bunk. Believe thou in QAnon, Tucker, and Trump. Thou shalt whitewash all history, make pretty the past. America's greatness remains unsurpassed. Thou shalt call thyself pro-life, the unborn defend, but on capital punishment be stout, don't bend. Thou shalt not drive electric or hybrid plug-in, and recycle not. That's the gravest of sins.
Not worried about heaven, I'm not worried about hell. I don't fear damnation, the kind the preacher sells. I'm not sweating about Satan leading me astray. I'm my own worst critic, and every day is Judgment Day. Lot to love about Jesus and the Buddha too. When I'm puzzled, I ponder what they might do. So save your 10 commandments, 'cause I know wrong from right. Yes, I do. And I'm content to let my conscience be my guide. Hey, I'm not scared of no Holy Ghost or no bearded father figure on a golden throne. Hereafter that will come soon enough. Here and now the only God I know is love, love, love. Hey, I'm not scared of no Holy Ghost or no bearded father figure on a golden throne. Hereafter that will come soon enough. And now the only God I know is love, love, love. I'm not worried about heaven, I'm not worried about hell, 'cause I crawled through Hades and I live to tell. Seen all the beauty and wonder of this earthly paradise. Yes, I have. So you can have the next world. This one suits me fine. Thank you. So when we think about the word fear, I think we all have a tendency to kind of think that that's a very negative thing. And but when you think about it, really, I'm wondering if we would have survived as a species if not for what is really actually an evolutionary part of our being. I mean, if we didn't have that emotional and chemical response when we saw a saber-toothed tiger running at us, maybe we would have all gotten eaten or fallen off cliffs or drowned in the ocean if we didn't have that essential part of our makeup, which is fear. But the problem is that since we no longer have saber-toothed tigers chasing us, or most of us anyway, we kind of seem to have to manufacture things to be afraid of. And I think that's where fear becomes kind of a negative thing. Out in the woods, a fear of bears can serve you well, so you don't leave out scraps of food those beasts can smell. A fear of heights might save you from a fatal slip, keep you off the ledge on your next hiking trip. A normal fear of fire or exposed electric wire just might spark that needed last ounce of prevention. A dose of fear can come along and make you focus fast and strong, as if you've had a superpower-filled injection. It's natural selection. Oh dear, if fear becomes irrational, beware. With what you fear is here, it's there, it's everywhere. That kind of fear itself can often hurt you more than the terror you think lurks outside your door. If ideology, dogma, or mythology makes you phobic, well, I'm sorry, that's pathetic. If you're still spouting all that crap you once heard on your grandpa's lap, that only proves that fear-based bias is genetic. And that's not copacetic. Fear can make you smart. Fear can make you strong. Fear can tear your life apart, and that's just downright wrong. Fear can lead to prejudice, and that can lead to hate. If everybody hated hate, gee, wouldn't that be great? That tripolar emotion known as fear is a triple threat, three-headed mutineer. The good one keeps you safe from harm. The bad one sets off false alarms. The ugly one's the one I wish would disappear. I hope I haven't gone on too long about a subject I feel strong about, but that's my song about what's right and wrong about fear. So a young father is driving up to the drive-thru at the fast food restaurant with his 5-year-old son. And the boy says, "Daddy, why are we here?" And the father says, "Well, you know why we're here, Bobby. We're here to get lunch." And the boy says, "No, Daddy, why are we here on earth?" You know, I think we're born with a certain need to have things explained to us. And I think that's why we seek out religion, because we want to have all the mysteries of life, the beauty of nature, the meaning of our lives explained to us, when in actuality, in my opinion, we're not really capable of understanding those things, and it's just perfectly fine not to know. And that's why when all of the things fall together and suddenly everything becomes crystal clear, you know, in those moments, that's why those moments are so amazing. Those moments of epiphany, those moments of everything making sense. When it all makes sense, when it all comes clear, when the light comes on and the dawn appears, in the present tense, in that rare here and now, when it all makes sense somehow, when the answers come without any help, and the mystery seems to solve itself, and you're not confused in that rare now and then, when it all makes sense again. Life isn't fair, nobody said it would be. Still we pine for heaven sing a prayer for how we think it should be. Will we ever stop pretending that it all makes sense? It so seldom does. It's just the way it is, the way it always was. Then the sun comes out from behind a cloud, and it all makes sense for now. Anyone who says he's got it all figured out, well, that's the kind of person to avoid, no doubt. Some things aren't meant to be understood. No wonder that it feels so good when it all makes sense. When it all comes clear, when the light comes on and the dawn appears, when it finally comes, that one moment of Zen, when it all makes sense again, when it all makes sense, amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen. I've been a peace activist for, I guess, more than 50 years now. And when you're looking for things, when I'm looking for things to make sense, it still baffles me why human beings seem to need to use so much of their resources on weapons instead of food. Your brain is a computer, your body's dynamite. You ride a heat-seeking missile off into the dead of night. You never miss your target, that's where you make your mark. A mess of smoke and rubble lighting up the dark. Yeah, you're a smart bomb, baby, bound to blow yourself to smithereens. But you're made for self-destruction. Tell me, how smart can you be? The plan is on a hard drive, battlefields are screen. You attack by pushing buttons so no one ever bleeds. But brother, can you tell me, what is the hero's name when the soldier is a gamer and war's a video game? You're a smart bomb, baby, bound to blow yourself to smithereens. But you're made for self-destruction. Tell me, how smart can you be? A baby cries from hunger, another from disease. families crossing borders, a million displaced refugees. Polar ice caps melting, can't afford to deal with that. But the man who builds the weapons just keeps on getting fat. You're a smart bomb, baby, bound to blow yourself to smithereens. But you're made for self-destruction. Tell me how smart. Tell me how smart. Tell me how smart. How smart can you be? I got a question for you. How many of you have no regrets? Oh, good, you're with me. Because you know what? I've been thinking back. I think I made some pretty bad decisions. And I lied to people. I alienated people. I was an arrogant punk many, many times in my life. And I kind of wonder what kind of turn my life would have taken had I not made some of those choices. And just to illustrate an example, this picture is a booth in Hollywood, California. This happens to be the most coveted place to have lunch in Hollywood and has been for a half century. It's a booth at Dan Tana's restaurant in West Hollywood. And in 1976, I had lunch in this booth at the invitation of probably, arguably, the most influential and powerful person who has ever been in the pop music business. His name is Clive Davis. And he invited me to lunch, and he invited another songwriter to lunch, and a gentleman named Michael Masser. And Michael had just gotten the Academy Award nomination for the beautiful song that he wrote for a movie called Mahogany that was sung by Diana Ross. You remember, do you know where you're going to? Do you think? Just beautiful, beautiful song. Now, I'm not telling you this to drop names. I'm telling you this just to illustrate the fact that in my younger days, there were people in the music business who thought I had some real potential and that I was worthy of their time. So, and it was true. A year later, Clive Davis actually, in the next year, Clive Davis offered me a recording contract with his label, Arista Records. So we arranged for a meeting at Clive's Beverly Hills hotel suite, which is where he always took his meetings. And I was there with my manager and with my attorney. He was there with an executive from his company and a record producer, and we were having a powwow about what our creative partnership would be like, et cetera, et cetera. And in the course of that meeting, I said 3 words to Clive Davis that offended him to the degree that he stopped the meeting at that moment, excused us from the suite, rescinded the offer of a recording contract, and has never spoken to me since. Sometimes you do something that you might regret later. Why was I so stupid? What happened to my brain? Did I really think I had the right to dish out that much pain? Could blame my youthful ego, that cliche alibi. But truth is truth and fact is fact. I lied. So why keep dragging that old baggage around? No one can change the past, but when the clock runs down, no matter how hard we may try to forget, there's bound to be regret. Nobody gets out without regret. Standing at the crossroads of lifetime after time, I made my choice and barged ahead with no doubt in my mind. But in the rearview mirror, how different it appears. How I wish I could relive those years. So why keep dragging that old baggage around? Why? No one can change the past, but when the clock runs down, no matter how hard we may try to forget, there's bound to be regret. Nobody gets out without regret. Nobody gets out without thinking that maybe they could have done better, wondering what might have happened if, playing old scenarios over and over, but no one gets a mulligan, it is what it is. So why keep dragging that old baggage around? No one can change the past, but when the clock runs down, no matter how hard we may try to forget, there's bound to be regret. Nobody gets out without regret. Nobody gets out without regret. Um, 20 years ago, amazing how fast this has gone, I was driving down 8th Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee, and I got a phone call. And it was a gentleman named Rob Hendon, and Rob was the co-publisher of a song that I had written that was out as a single with Toby Keith, the country superstar Toby Keith. And the song was climbing the charts at the time. And Rob said, "Congratulations, Rand. My List," which was the title of the song, "will be #1 this week." Well, I had been in the business for over 30 years at that point. I'd had 150 songs recorded by a lot of legendary artists. I'd had songs on platinum records. I'd produced platinum records, but I'd never had a #1 song on a major U.S. chart. And so this was an accomplishment that was fought hard for a long time, and it was something that could never be taken away from me. And so I pulled my vehicle to the side of the road and I wept. Wept from relief. I wept because I knew that all of those years that I had put in were really paying off at that point, and I was really pleased. But I was extra pleased because it was a song that meant so much to so many people. I mean, it's great to have a #1, even if it's about, getting drunk or partying all night or tight jeans or pickup trucks or whatever. But this one was a song that people responded to, and they said, we got emails and text messages and voicemails that said, this song helped me through my chemotherapy or my divorce or losing my job or something like that. So it was extra meaningful to know that a lot of people loved the song. Under an old brass paperweight is my list of things to do today. Go to the bank and the hardware store, put a new lock on the cellar door. I cross them off as I get them done, but when the sun is set, there'll be more than a few things left I haven't got to yet. Like go for a walk, say a little prayer, take a deep breath of mountain air, put on my glove, play some catch. It's time that I made time for that. Wade the shore, cast the line, look up a long lost friend of mine, sit on the porch, give my girl a kiss, start living, that's the next thing on my list. Wouldn't change the course of fate if cutting the grass just had to wait. 'Cause I've got more important things, like pushing my kid on a backyard swing. I won't break my back for $1 million. I can't take to my grave. Why put off for tomorrow what I could get done today? Like go for a walk, say a little prayer, take a deep breath of mountain air, put on my glove, play some catch. It's time that I made time for that. Wade the shore, cast a line, look up a long lost friend of mine, sit on the porch, give my girl a kiss, start living, that's the next thing on my list. Ooh, yeah. Raise a little hell, laugh till it hurts, put an extra 5 in the plate at church, call up my folks just to chat. It's time that I made time for that. Stay up late, oversleep, show her what she means to me, catch up on all the things I've always missed, start a living, that's the next thing on my list. Under an old brass paperweight is my list of things to do today. Thanks once again for you guys being here. For the daylight and the darkness, for the sunshine and the rain, for the best days and the worst ones, every pleasure, every pain. For the joyful times together and the lonesome hours too, we must be thankful for it all if we ever hope to find true gratitude. Any friend who'll stand beside you is a treasure to be found. But what about the others who would seek to drag you down? One offers love and comfort, the other fortitude. Both help to make us who we are. So let's appreciate them in true gratitude. Pathways climb and pathways bend, some blessings hide where pathways end. If every stairway led to heaven and every street were lined with gold, with the journey test our mettle and teach us to be bold. So easily we cherish those warm, clear days in June, because December showed us how we are able to live in true gratitude. Because December showed us how we are able to live in true gratitude. Thank you. You guys are a smart crowd. You're bucking for extra credit. When you're a kid, growing up is everything. You can't wait to get a job, buy a car, and smoke and drink. The years crawl by so slowly, one birthday to the next. Will these pimples ever clear up? Will I ever experience sex? The answer is yes. Cliches become cliches because they're true. Birds fly and time flies too. Then you wake up and it's decades later. Went quick, didn't it? Your belly's gone flabby and your knees are aching. Went quick, didn't it? And you're popping those Tums like candy corn. Scratching your head, trying to remember why you walked in the room 10 seconds before. Now there's no room for all the candles on your cake. Birthdays with 0s and 5s are all you celebrate. And every conversation boils down to this: your latest diagnosis, or where the next funeral is. Is it hers or his? Cliches become cliches because they're true. I'm short, and life's short too. And if you're lucky, you will live a long and healthy life. Find love and fulfillment, at least most of the time. And pass on peacefully and painlessly, and maybe even obliviously in your sleep. Went quick, didn't it? Stand in another child's moonlight. Stand in the dawn of another child's bright, shiny day. See through the eyes of another child's birthright. And know if the heart follows love, then the heart knows the way. Why be a slave to possessions? Things are just toys to be used in the games that we play. Why let your pleasures become your obsessions? And know if the heart follows love, then the heart knows the way. Oh, there's a road over the hill. There's an empty cup to be filled. There is a well deep in my soul, where the water is clear and cold. Why worry about the hereafter? Treasure the here and the now, never mind yesterday. Heaven is found in the sweet sound of laughter. And know if the heart follows love, then the heart knows the way. Oh, there's a road over the hill. There's an empty cup to be filled. There is a well deep in my soul, where the water is clear. There's a road over the hill. There's an empty cup to be filled. There is a well deep in my soul, where the water is clear and cold. Stand in another child's moonlight and know if the heart follows love, if the heart follows love, if the heart follows love, then the heart knows the way. Thank you so much. Thank you. Class dismissed.